Good morning. Oh no, wait, it's good afternoon. Hi. I'm still like, I think it's so, why do I think it's so early? Because I woke up late. Exactly. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for accepting the invite to come and watch this Facebook Live. So today, hold on, let me get set up and then we'll start. Okay. I have to do a few things. There we go. Just move a few things around. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. So this question was asked by, let's see, Lauren Thompson. And it's basically, wait, it wasn't asked by her. It was asked by Alexis Ann, how to fall back in love with yourself. So, good morning. Oh my God, hold on. Hi, thank you so much for joining. Welcome to this Facebook Live. Today's topic is going to be how to fall in love with yourself, how to start loving yourself when you don't know how, because this is something that a lot of women struggle. I know I struggle with this. So I'm going to give you my top tips for this. And my name is Mary Miranda. I am the creator of this fabulous group and the brand My Fit Healing. I help women heal and transform their lives after living unhealthy relationships so that they can find happiness, abundance, love, and transform their lives from the inside out. That is my main mission. So today, I am very passionate about talking about this topic because this is something that I struggled with for years. And I'm chewing like some pill. Okay, so nobody really teaches us how to love ourselves. Like they teaches us like all the negative stuff, like how to, if we are overweight, like people keep like emphasis on that. People keep emphasis on the negative things, but nobody tells us, oh, this is how you start loving yourself. Especially if you left unhealthy, abusive relationships, this is going to be such a crucial step in your healing journey, because healing your life starts healing your life from after narcissistic abusive relationships or any type of abusive relationships, whether it was with a significant other, with your parents, with a sibling, or anyone you really have an unhealthy relationship with. Everything's gonna start with you. Everything's gonna start with healing yourself. And the way to heal yourself is to heal the relationship you have with yourself. And this is your time to repair the damage and all those negative thoughts, all those limiting beliefs that were ingrained or they were taught to you by someone when you were little. And just pretty much anything that's blocking you from loving yourself or from living your life to your full potential. This is going to be your time for you to work on that. And that's why you're in this group. That's why you are also maybe part of another groups to help you heal after narcissistic abuse. But this group specifically, he deals with healing healthily, in a healthy way, in body, mind, and soul after narcissistic abusive relationships. Also, I just want you to know that if you are feeling a little low self-esteem, low self-worth, or maybe like some days you don't feel like you're pretty or attractive, maybe some days you just don't feel good with yourself, I want to tell you that you're not the only one that's feeling like that. Many of us, even the people that have come to the point that they have a good self-esteem and good self-love, we still struggle with this stuff. I have a very good self-esteem now. I love myself. I have high confidence, but I still have days that I don't feel good. I still have days that I look in the mirror and I just don't feel super attractive. So then is when I start doing inner work and when I start doing my self-care and a bunch of things to put me back into the positive mindset. Hold on. So it's completely normal. What is not normal is that you go day after day with these negative thoughts, feeling you don't love yourself, hating yourself, and it just spins you and it spirals you into this very negative mindset, and your days just get ruined, and day after day you just feel the same. That's what it's not right. But if it happens every once in a while, many of us, many women go through this. Even the most beautiful women that you think they wouldn't have a problem with loving themselves, they still do, successful women. But if this is really hurting your life and preventing you from just feeling happy and just loving yourself every day, then that's where it's a problem, because you're stuck in this negative mindset. You're stuck in this state of that is just not helping you feel better. I hope that makes sense. So you also have to be aware if you, let me say this in a very loving way. So when I left, and I'm going to put myself as an example. So when I left my abusive relationship, obviously I left this toxic person. It was a toxic relationship with a man. It was a toxic relationship in body, mind, and soul. And at the same time, I realized that I had a very toxic and abusive relationship with my own self. I was abusing, it was like auto abuse, that's how I call it, because I hated myself so much. I looked in the mirror and I just hated what I looked. I would call myself so many names, like fat, you're full of cellulite, you're so not pretty. And I used to put myself so down, and this was probably around 2012, 2013. And because I had no idea how to love the person that I was looking in the mirror. I had no idea how to love myself when I felt so broken, when I felt like I wasn't worth it, I wasn't good enough, and I wasn't just worthy of love. And that really damaged me. But then I started doing things, and I'm going to talk to you about today, that actually helped me get out of that stupid toxic cycle. So if you recently left an abusive relationship, or it's been probably a few months and you still don't have that self-love, you don't know how to start, just think about it. If you are also having an abusive relationship with yourself, if you're calling yourself names, if your inner critic, your ego is also putting you down, that is an abusive relationship with yourself. And this is part of this group, allowing you and helping you heal from a toxic relationship you have with yourself. I had toxic thoughts, so it's also helping you become aware of that you didn't only leave an abusive relationship with a man, you are also left that relationship, but also have an abusive relationship with yourself. I hope that makes sense. Let me see, did that make sense? So I hope that kind of makes sense. I know a lot of people are like, what? Why are you saying that I have a toxic relationship with myself? But if you think about it, that's what it is. Our ego and our toxic negative thoughts are actually putting us down lower, keeping us in this victim status, in this, you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you're not valuable, you're not attractive. That's having a toxic relationship with yourself. If you look in the mirror and you don't like what you're seeing, that's also auto abuse, because you keep putting yourself down, and that is not helping anyone, right? So this is something that I struggle with. That's why I am talking about it, because I know what it feels like. So another thing, so let's just get to let's just get to the tips that I have for you today. So I hope everything that I just explained makes sense and you take it in a very loving way, that you're here because you want to heal. And if you have a toxic relationship with yourself, it's okay. Just acknowledge it, just own it, and just say enough, and I'm going to start working on myself because I deserve the best for me. Okay? So the first tip that I have for you is assess where you are and ask yourself. So pretty much you have to know where you're standing right now. You have to assess the situation where you are in your life with yourself. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why do I want to love myself now? Like, why does it have to be now? What's going to happen if I don't start loving myself now? Like, let's say if you don't take action today to do the things to start loving yourself, like, how is your life going to be? How are you going to keep feeling? Are you going to be feeling stuck? Are you going to be feeling in this auto abusing yourself, putting yourself down? Or if you take action today, why do you want to take action today? And this is where you need to bring out the emotion. I got goosebumps, seriously. You need to bring out the emotion, and you need to bring out a strong why you need to do this. Is it because you had enough and you know that you deserve a better life? Oh my God, I keep getting goosebumps. And you know you deserve a freaking amazing life, and you're just like, enough. I need to work on myself because I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be loved. I deserve to attract abundance and good things into my life. And I'm just tired of dating the same type of person. So when you attach an emotion and a reason to your why, it's gonna make things so much easier, because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to love myself. But they're like, but a lot of people are just going with what society is doing. You need to love yourself because that's the way to be. But you have to it is the way to be, but you have to attach an emotion to it. Like for me, it's the fact that I had enough putting myself down. I had enough of living the same type of life, feeling miserable, not good enough, not worthy. That was what was hurting me the most, not feeling worthy. I didn't feel worthy of dating someone or a man. I didn't feel worthy of my parents. I didn't feel worthy of living in, like, being alive. I just didn't feel worthy. So you kind of have to ask yourself, and ask yourself where you are, and ask yourself, why do I need this now? Why do I need to love myself now? And obviously, if you're in this group, it's because you want to heal, because you are done with all the abuse. You are done playing small. You are done attracting the same type of men. You are done living the same type of life, and you know you deserve better. You know you deserve true love. You know you deserve to feel free, to be yourself. You deserve to have a voice. So kind of find your why. And it's going to be so much easier, like I'm telling you, once you attach an emotion to your reason and to your why, it's going to be so much easier, because you're going to be driven. You're going to wake up every day thinking, oh, I need to do this self-care, or I need to do this journaling for inner work because I want to be happy, because I deserve to be happy. And then you attach your why, because I want my life to be like this, because I deserve this. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So this is something that I do all the time, not only with self-love, but also with my business. Why do I want to have a successful business? Or with money, why do I want to attract money into my life? Why do I want to make 6 figures, for example? Or for my fiance, why did I want to attract a soulmate? So there's always a reason why. And when you attach an emotion and understand why you want to do things, it's so much easier. So I hope that makes sense. And also, you have to ask yourself, what situation brought you to this point that you're pretty much at a crossroad. Is that the way it's called, a crossroad, right? You're pretty much like, what situation brought you to this point that you're like, either I start loving myself and keep going forward, or I don't love myself and go at the wrong path. So, and obviously for most of you, it's because you left unhealthy relationships, abusive relationships, and you have a lot of trauma within you that it's blocking you, and a lot of things that are blocking you from living the life that you deserve. So that's number 1. Number 2 is going to be heal the relationship with yourself, obviously. So you have to ask yourself, seriously, everything that I teach, everything that I coach on, it's a lot about asking questions, because it gets you to introspect, and it gets you to really analyze your life and yourself. And that is so much easier when you're healing, because you need to really get down to the bottom root cause of the problem, pretty much. So ask yourself, how do you feel? So right now we're going to assess, obviously, where we are. So you're going to ask yourself, how do you feel? How do I feel about myself? Like, if you sit down and you're starting doing your journaling, okay, where do I start? You probably don't know, but the easier way to ask is to start asking questions. So you ask, I wrote it down here. How do you feel? How do I feel about myself? How's the relationship that I have with myself? And you get really honest and really clear with yourself, and you kind of just start asking and answering all these questions so you can get to know yourself, because part of loving yourself is also getting to know who you are, getting to know your identity, and just getting to know, like, where you are in life and how you feel about yourself. So you can do lists. I am such an I'm always telling you guys to do lists, seriously. So the first list you can do is list all the things that you don't like about yourself in your life. So that's going to be like the negative list, right? And then do another list of the things that you love about yourself, about your life, about your physique, just anything that has to do with your life. And you're going to see that there are so many good things about your life, and it's going to keep you in a positive mindset, right? And then you're going to do another list. And it's pretty much like, what kind of woman, this is where you use visualization, and you do not the law of attraction necessarily, but you envision the woman that you want to become. What kind of woman do you want to be tomorrow? So I have my list right here. This is the kind of woman. It was in a journal, but I put it right here in colors because it's prettier. And every day, every time I doubt myself or I struggle, I actually look at this list and I'm just like, okay, this is the woman. If I feel down, I allow myself the feelings. I allow myself to just feel bad if I need to, or if I need to cry or whatever. But then I look at this list and I'm like, okay, the woman, the version of the woman that I want to become, wouldn't stay crying. She wouldn't doubt herself. The woman would be probably shows up for herself daily, has a manifestation mindset. Stays focused and committed, honors herself daily, and that is like honoring your feelings. If you're not feeling good, you have to honor your feelings too. So just do another list of the woman, the version of the woman that you want to be. Like, do you want to be happy every day? Do you want to be uplifted? Do you want to be an amazing mother for your children? If you think your relationship with yourself, which I know it directly impacts everybody around you, especially if you have children, well, the version of you that is healed is going to be so much more loving to her children, so much more present, because everything starts within you, right? So those are the get to know yourself type of list. So like number 2, like I said, how do you feel about yourself and what's the relationship that you have yourself? And this is where you get honest and clear. And just do those 3 lists, and they're really going to help you, because you're going to realize all the negative bullshit that is stopping you from loving yourself and from living the life that you truly deserve. And that's going to be like, oh my gosh, like if that doesn't tell you enough, I don't want to be that woman, I want to be this version, the future version of me, then you're going to like switch your mindset and you're going to be able to heal faster too, right? Okay, so number 3 is actually limiting beliefs. And I don't know if you are familiar with this term, but pretty much is any negative thought, anything you think about yourself that you have been carrying for years. So for example, if you don't think you are beautiful, maybe your ex kept telling you that. Maybe he did, but maybe everything stems from childhood. Maybe sometime when you were little, somebody told you were not beautiful, you were not pretty. Maybe your parents or your dad, your mom, I don't know the relationship you had with them, maybe they kept telling you things, or your sister or your brother, that made you feel you were not beautiful. So go back in childhood. I do a lot of inner child work and a lot of I help you connect the dots pretty much. But the limiting beliefs stem from childhood most of the time, right? And so just ask yourself, like, come with a thought, like if you don't feel attractive or if you don't feel worthy, let's just say worthy too. Go back to childhood and ask yourself, where does this come from? Who made me feel not worthy since I was little? Was it my mom? Was it my dad? Was it a classmate? Was it a little boy at school? Was it a little girl in school? Was it a sibling? Like, analyze yourself, analyze your past. And for me, it was also my parents, because obviously I was the middle child. I was the 3rd child, sorry. And then everything was given to my sister. So all the new clothes, all the attention, everything. So I automatically felt I wasn't worthy of having new clothes, of having my mom's attention, because my dad was always here working. So I kind of grew up thinking I was less worthy than my sister. And that kind of carried over to my relationships too. So when I did my analysis and when I was asking myself, where did this come from? I found out it was a specific situation in my childhood with my mom and my sister. And that kind of really hurt me. And I didn't realize that until I was doing my healing work. So ask yourself, where does this thought come from of not feeling worthy, good enough, or we're not loving myself? Where does that come from? And also, how did your parents make you feel? Like I said, my mom, they were not abusive, but obviously my sister was the first child. So everything was preference. She had preference over me pretty much, right? So I felt like I was her shadow most of the time, actually. So how did your parents make you feel? And they didn't, and many times your parents don't even intend to make you feel like that, but it just comes out as that, you know? So just acknowledge that and kind of like think about it. And also, how did you, was it safe for you to be you? What's it safe for you to be yourself? What's it safe for you to speak up, to communicate, to say? Was it safe for you to have emotions? If you were feeling sad, if you were feeling angry, was it safe to be a child in your household? A lot of times our self-love stems because people, the lack of self-love, sorry, it stems from childhood, from people not allowing us to be ourselves, not allowing us to speak up. For example, if you had a hard time in your relationship with your ex of not being able to speak up, not being able to have a voice, not being able to say how you felt, it can stem from childhood, and this can prevent you from loving yourself, because if you're not getting your needs met, then that also is part of not being able to know how to do it, and this can affect how you love yourself, because you're not able to have a voice. So when you don't speak up, your throat chakra of that's based in communication closes down, and you just don't have that energy pathway that you feel free, and you don't feel, and then this is where all those negative emotions, that resentment builds up and stays in your body, and then gets manifested as illnesses. But we're not going to get into that. But just so you know, just ask yourself, where does your limiting beliefs come from? If you're feeling not worthy, not good enough, if you don't love yourself, does this come from childhood? And just kind of like trace back everything and see if it does, and if it does, then you know what situations you need to heal. And the last, which ties back to this, is not the last, sorry. The next one, which is 4, is your inner child. And like I always show you guys my picture when I was little, and I actually have more next to my bed. So healing your inner child is going to be so crucial, and it's such a crucial part of loving yourself, because let me see what I wrote here. Oh, sorry, I don't even understand my handwriting sometimes. So I wrote here, oh, this is true. So what did you need the most when you were little, when you were growing up in your household? What did you need the most? Because this actually translates to how you were in your relationship with your exes, right? So did you need to love? Did you need affection? Did you need hugs? Did you need just attention? Did you need to be seen by your parents or your siblings? If, like me, I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be seen, not just my sister, because she got everything, you know. I was her shadow. I felt like I couldn't be seen by my mom. And also, did you need it to be heard, your voice to be heard, for parents to pay attention to you? That comes from that too. Do you need it to be acknowledged? Did you need it to be praised? Like everything that you needed, just go back, this is an exercise. Take a little, get a picture of yourself when you were little, and just ask yourself, what did I need when I was little? Did I need attention? Did I need love? Like how did that affect me in the relationships that I have with men and with myself more than anything, right? Because if you are lacking love and affection when you were little, that means that you don't have love within you. And that means that you were seeking other people to fulfill the need of love that you're supposed to fulfill yourself. But if you were never taught how to do it, that you were unconsciously seeking other men to fill that void, to feel that lack of love that you had. I hope that makes sense. And also, so obviously, like I said, take the picture and talk to your little girl. Talk to her as if she was your daughter. This is the moment that you're gonna heal. For me to heal self-love, I have to heal the root cause of where everything came from, right? Where my self-love kind of cracked, and it stems back to childhood. So talk to your little girl as if you were her mother, her father, her parent. This is when you become a parent to yourself. This is when you literally have to talk to her as if she was your daughter. And if she's feeling unloved, not good enough, unworthy, I got goosebumps. Just talk to her and be like, you are so worthy. Just like, how would you talk to her if she was your daughter? If your daughter came to you and if she said, Mommy, somebody made me feel that I wasn't attractive, or that I wasn't loved, that I'm not loved, or that I'm not worthy, or that I'm not good enough, how would you talk to her? What things would you say so she feels better? You would want to hug her. You would want to kiss her. You would want to tell her, I got goosebumps. You would want to say to her, no, you are very worthy because you're beautiful. And you just want to say to her and give her all this love. And this is the love that your little girl within you needs, right? So I hope that makes sense, and I really hope you get to do this exercise, because it is so soothing for your soul, and it actually really, really helps rebuild the relationship that you have with yourself, because you are rebuilding a relationship that has been broken for years, and everything starts with healing your little girl And progressively, you're going to start feeling better, because that's the reason why a lot of people don't know how to love themselves, because they don't know that it stems back to childhood, that they need to heal their inner little girl in order to heal their adult self. So I hope that makes sense, and I really hope this if you take anything out of this video today, I hope this is what you take: inner child work. And also, let's see what else I have. So you become your own parent, right? So number 5 is going to be reprogramming your subconscious. And this is tied back to limiting beliefs, how you felt as a child, everything. A lot of times we don't realize consciously that we have all these unconscious belief systems or programs in ourselves, and they're already buried in our subconscious because we're not aware of them. We're only aware of what we are consciously thinking of at the moment, right? But there's a lot of things that linger in our bodies that are in our subconscious. So the easier way to reprogram your limiting beliefs, unlearn all these negative behaviors and thoughts that you were taught since childhood, to help you heal your self-love and the relationship you have with yourself, is to unlearn these limiting beliefs, like I said, by reprogramming your brain daily with more positive thoughts. And this is where affirmations, mantras, I am statements, and self-care are a daily thing. Remember, it takes 21 days to adapt to a new habit, because repetitive action, yeah, that's how you say it, right? Repetitive action is going to kind of make it become a part of you. So when you when you repeat these mantras, I am statements, affirmations, they're gonna penetrate your unconscious mind and then rewrite it, reprogram all those limiting beliefs that you have. And this is where it becomes a part of you. So later on, like every day, let's see, right here, I always have this. I think I've done so many Facebook Lives where I show you guys my note cards, and I do this daily. I still do this daily, and if I go a few days not doing this, I feel the shift. I mean, like, I still love myself, but I feel so much better when I do this daily. So I have, where are they? Oh, you know what? They're probably in my nightstand, but I usually put note cards, right? Then I have my I am statements, like I am beautiful, I am amazing, I am badass, or I am worthy, I am enough, I am valuable, I am lovable. And I have all of those note cards that I read daily, and that kind of helps reprogram my brain and rewrite all the old programming and limiting beliefs that you were taught since childhood. And this is such a game changer when you're starting to love yourself, because I can tell you, so this is the thing, I can tell you all the self-care that I do. I can be like, oh, I do meditation, I do yoga, I exercise, and I can tell you all these things that I do, but it's just surface level most of the time. All the tips that I'm giving you, that I just gave you, are pretty much to reprogram your subconscious, to help you heal your inner child, to help you heal those and understand where those limiting beliefs that you don't love yourself, or that you're not worthy and good enough, where they come from. And for me, this is the way that everything changed for me when I did the inner work, when I actually sit down and I did the inner work and I understood where everything stemmed from. Because if you want to heal something, you need to understand where it's coming from, right? Because I can be like, oh, just love yourself more, buy yourself flowers, take yourself out on a date. But that's not really, it's gonna be like instant gratification, but it's not really gonna heal the deep wounds that you have within you, the void. It's not gonna heal your subconscious. Is not going to reprogram you the way that everything that I have told you is going to do. And the inner child is going to be such a game changer for that. So if you were thinking you were going to come to this video and I was going to give you a bunch of self-care tips, that is just not the way that I work, that I coach my clients, that I teach. Because I used to do that. I used to buy myself flowers, take myself out on a date, buy myself clothes, and that didn't make me feel better. It instantly made me feel good, but in the long run it didn't, because even the next day I felt like crap again. I felt like I didn't love myself. I felt unworthy and valuable. So until you sit down and you're willing to do the inner work, that's when your life's going to change. So the last tip, now that I preached to you guys, the last tip is going to be obviously self-care, and it's going to be to treat yourself after you have done all the inner work, after you have done all this healing that is probably a little painful sometimes, or a little uncomfortable. And just so you know, you're gonna be uncomfortable doing inner work because you are so used to being in your comfort zone. You are so used to treating yourself bad. You are so used to not doing the work, not doing the inner work, that is going to be uncomfortable when you first start, but then it's going to be good because we want to do good things for ourselves, and being uncomfortable is one of those, but it only lasts a few days, I promise you that. So the last tip that I have is self-care. And it's obviously after you have done all of this, you deserve to reward yourself. This is a rewarding of kind of like treatment, right? Because the other ones are not really punishment, but if you think about it, it's like, oh God, nobody likes to do the inner work. But then when you think about it, you're going to be able to reward yourself by doing self-care, by treating yourself nice. This is where you actually do take yourself out on a date, buy yourself flowers, I don't know, just do rituals to help you feel so much better. And for me, obviously, I do journaling, I do meditation, and part of the journaling is doing the inner work. And I also treat myself. Self-care is also eating healthy, moving your body, working out. Is also taking care of yourself. Take a bath. Take I don't know. I don't like going shopping, but if that's for you, then go shopping, buy yourself something nice, buy yourself a nice dress that makes you feel sexy. You also have to do nice things for yourself, right? But this is kind of like a reward for all the hard work that you have done in healing your life, right? And at the same time, you also, the journal, you use it to vent. So like if you need to tell someone something, and instead of putting it on Facebook, and instead of telling a friend, or not gossiping, like telling a friend about it, sometimes you just need to write it in a journal, and that really helps. If you're not feeling good about yourself, like put it in a journal, right? And also surround yourself with people that are in your same path. So that's why you're in this group. This group is full of beautiful women that are on the same path to healing, because they want to be happy. You guys want to feel worthy, good enough, lovable, mostly heal the relationship that you have with yourself, right? So surround yourself with all these women, build connections in this community, surround yourself with people that are very supportive, not people that are gonna steer you away from your healing journey and steer you away from everything that you have done up to this point. So also dive yourself into personal development, self-help books. Those are things that really, really helped me. And for me, those are part of self-care. So those are my tips that I have for today. So let's recap. So the first one is obviously assess where you are and ask yourself, why do you need to start loving yourself right now? Number two is heal the relationship, understand the relationship that you have with yourself, and kind of assess how you feel about yourself and how's the relationship that you have with you. This is when you get honest. And if you have a shitty ass relationship with yourself, well, this is the time to get honest with yourself and just be like, enough, not anymore. So number three is I explained to you limiting beliefs, and they stem from childhood and how they have impacted your current self. Number four is inner child. You're going to become a parent today. If you're not a parent, well, happy Mother's Day, because you are going to become a parent today to your little girl, because she needs you, and she's the one that's lacking love, hugs, attention. She's the one if you have been neglecting her up to this point, well, today is the day that you become a parent and you become acquainted with your best friend. She's going to treat her as your daughter, as your best friend. Just treat her as that and heal her, because she's the one that needs your help the most, right? Number five is to reprogram your subconscious by doing affirmations, mantras, I am statements. And part of this is also daily self-care, because you want it to become a habit and part of you. And number six is actually doing self-care. And this is where you reward yourself for doing all this hard work, because you also deserve to be treated nicely. And if you want somebody else to treat you nice, everything starts with you. You have to do that for yourself first before expecting somebody else to do it for you. So those are all the tips that I have for today. I hope they were helpful. I'm going to do another part of this, probably explaining more what kind of self-care rituals to do. But those are, like I said, those are, I take those more like rewards, because like I said, they're more like instant gratifications, but they also show you how worthy you are of being treated nicely. When you take a bath or when you go and get your nails done, you deserve to also be taking care of yourself. So also I want to tell you that if you need more help with reprogramming your subconscious and the I am statements on how to do that, or how to pretty much ask a lot of the questions that I started on this since step 1, assess where you are, ask yourself how you feel about yourself. If you need any help with the limiting beliefs or anything, my guide, my self-love journey, A Beginner's Guide to Radical Self-Love, kind of walks you through all of this, and it has a whole section also on I am statement mantras. It also has a forgiveness letter for yourself and for other people that have hurt you. And it walks you through everything that I have done that I know it's going to help you so much to rebuild the relationship you have with yourself. And at the end, it kind of gives you like a sheet, 2 sheets. I have 2 sheets at the end. It's like my daily self-love rituals. And it kind of asks you questions. What are you going to do today to love yourself? And like, what self-care rituals are you going to do today? And it also, I teach you how to do journaling every day. So I put the link in the description box. Go and get it. It is so worth it. It is going to help you if you are really ready to start loving yourself. This is really going to help you. And like I said, I'm all about helping you guys, but I'm also about teaching you that you have to work from the root cause of the problem and find it and start healing from there. So that's why I'm huge on inner work. I'm huge of healing your past, healing your inner child, healing your little girl, so you can actually clear all the clutter your past and clear all that junk, so you can actually start loving yourself. And you deserve to be loved. You deserve to have self-love. And I hope this tips helps you.